My view is that somebody who has not learnt to think properly is not going to write good prompts, is not going to really be able to use the tool at all, or will use it badly. Do you agree with that, Connor?
So I think of it more, probably less about the prompt itself and more about how would you instruct a new colleague or a new employee? How would you get the best out of them? There's good managers and bad managers, and you know it when you see it a little bit. So maybe I might flip it on its head and say, I think the critical thinking is to take the output rather than the input and see, is this good? And do you know how to draw in the right part of information? So anybody can look at an output and be like, that's awesome. But the problem is, do you have the critical thinking to ask the right questions? Like, where's this getting this information? Is it just telling me I'm right because blah, blah? So I'm with you on the critical thinking is critical. I would probably put it on the output, judging the output rather than the input.
I agree with that. My impression thus far, and I continue to run these experiments, is that there's a real problem in the fact that the models have not really been trained on the full corpus of high quality knowledge because Google Books lost their case and a lot of extraordinarily important literature is not accessible online. And so what I notice when I ask, say, Gemini or Deep Research to answer a question is that it comes back rather thin, without the kind of depth of scholarship and knowledge that you would have if you had access to all the books in the Bodleian Library or Widener. And I think that's because of that very important case that Google lost. And that means that it's hard to train a large language model on the real quality literature that's been published in our time.